everyone. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me today. I am excited because I have a bunch of new beads to show you. I actually went to my local craft store because I saw on an advertisement that they had all string beads at 50% off. And I thought, I can't beat that, so I'm gonna go look. And yeah, so I found some. And there actually wasn't a lot there, and that's not too surprising right now because it's a little bit more difficult to find everything just on the shelf right away. So nonetheless, this is kind of the haul that I found. I believe I've got 21 strands of beads here. They are glass beads and crystal beads, as well as a couple of oddball kind of just a ceramic type of bead. Anyway, so here's what I've got, and I just kind of wanted to run through them with you to show you that you can find really good quality beads at your local craft store, get a bunch of different ones, and then start incorporating all of them into different designs. It's really been a lot of questions coming across that kind of prompted this video for me to make, is because people kind of want to know, where do you get your beads, what kind of suppliers do you use, that kind of thing. And I just don't really give out all of that blanket information because I do get them from different places, and then I have places that I go to, and those are my go-to, and I kind of hold those secret to me. And I think anybody who has a business has those few things that they don't share, and tons of stuff that they're totally willing to share. So anyways, this is what I have to share with you today. These are Tahitian metal beads on this side, and then a lot of these are the glass beads. So I kind of incorporated different colors. I've got pinks, blues, greens, purples. Those are my go-to colors, surprisingly enough, that I love these colors. And I can actually incorporate every single one of these bead strands together and come up with some amazing designs. And what's interesting is that these bead strands are almost the length of what my finished bead strand is. So it's really easier for me to go, okay, so I can probably get an average of maybe 10 to 15 strands out of this to make for my regular Suncatchers that I'm beading together. So here's some of the examples. I'll just kind of show a few of them up, and then I'll get the camera closer and show you more pictures on that, because it's sometimes easier to see when they're still. But so these are beads, they're individuals, and here we've got 8 pieces all together. So this is an 8-piece strand. You think I could make 8 different Suncatchers with this? Or I can do with 2 different ones, I could probably do 4. So if I wanted to use 2 beads in 1 strand, that's kind of my mentality of how I would get how many of my Suncatchers. So that's one example there. I've got lotus flowers here. These all have the holes right through the middle, so it's really cool to have that just hanging in your window, and no matter what, you'll always see that design. And then also when I add my charms, which is that extra little clasp on there, it's really easy for me to say, hey, look, it's got even extra character to it. Here's another one. Some butterflies. I really love the butterflies. The butterflies are one of a favorite of a lot of people. So it's an individual butterfly bead. It's got the strand down the middle there. And then here's some more. These are a little bit more of a smaller, it's kind of a character bead versus this type of bead here. Excuse me. I've been suffering from a cold, and of course now I want to talk on a video and my throat's like, yeah, not yet, not yet. Anyway, so these beads here are just a kind of a smaller detailed bead. It's got a little bit of swirls in it. There's actually 42 of these pieces here, so that's a really good strand. Here's some more. These are little owls, and each individual one I can choose to do a single or a couple of them. They are a little bit different. Each owl, I think it's 2 different types of owl on here, so that's really cool. Then I've got 3 of the same flower beads. I really like the flower beads because a lot of times with the pinks and the blues and the purples and such, I'm incorporating more of a flower kind of style, or like this bead here, it's got the rose on it, so it'd be really cute to do a flower charm bead as well as the rose bead. And here's just a little accent bead. It's kind of like it looks like a spaceship. But 8 inches. Doesn't say how many pieces are on here, but for size reference, it's a silver plated 4mm by 7mm. So your 4mm, let me get this to the end. Your 4mm is going to be the two sides, and then your 7 is the width of it. So the bead hangs like this, but that's your 7, there's your 4. So it's really difficult sometimes to understand what the millimeter size is. Keep some of these tags until you get used to what that is, and that'll kind of help in the long run to know, okay, if I'm ordering online, I can see that I need such and such size bead. So like this multiple strand bead here, these glass faceted sapphire beads they don't tell me the specific size, but if I hold up another one, I can kind of comparatively say, okay, well this says it's a 17.7 centimeter, or also meaning an 8 by 5 millimeter. So I can kind of compare it that way. Kind of difficult when you get down to the size reference in the descriptions, but once you get a grasp of it, it gets easier to understand the more you purchase them. Okay, and then the last one of the silver beads is the bell type bead. This bell shaped bead is really cool because I can actually stick this onto the strand and then have it cap across the top of that bead, kind of looking like it's holding it into place, gives it extra character and a finer detailed look. And that's that. And that's actually 34 pieces on that one. So that's really good. All right, let's get over to the pretty beads. So I did pick these two. I haven't used well, what do they call this? Unfortunately, it doesn't say what type of bead this is, but it's kind of like an opalescent-y bead. Anyways, the opalescent I thought would be really pretty and kind of a different look to use in the Suncatcher. So that'll be fun to put together. I haven't used those kinds, and I noticed as I swirl it, it changes colors. Super cool. So anyways, these beads, there's square beads on there, as well as the round bead. And of course, this one's kind of extra special because it already has some of those flying saucer looking beads on it. So I can repurpose those into another strand. Here's some really pretty precision cut, multicolor blue, purple, pink. It's kind of like it's an embedded Aurora Borealis type of color on that. So I thought it'd be really pretty. And here again, we've got the blue. This is the faceted sapphire. And it looks like we've got four different sizes. 4 different sizes on this. Perfect. And I've got 2 of those 4-strand beads. This is the light champagne faceted glass beads. Really pretty. Again, you can incorporate these colors together. They're perfect. I went with this. It kind of looks like a really cool space-aged bead. I actually said it was clearance on this sticker, so let's see. This also does not say what kind of bead it is, but really cute. I mean, it's a flat color. It's not sparkly, but you don't want everything to just be sparkly and translucent. You want to actually add that depth of color because it's really going to give you that extra charm of detail when you mix those different materials. So just keep that in mind when you're doing those, picking out your beads. It doesn't all have to match and be cohesive. They don't all have to be sparkly or you know, translucent or pale or dark. It can be all of the above. Here's another really pretty one. This is champagne silverite. It's kind of an interesting one. It is solid colored, not translucent. So again, a good example of still holding a lot of sparkle, but also giving me that contrast of color. And then these silvery beads here. These are interesting to me because I really like this. It's a very, very faceted iris something. I can't say that last word. I don't know what it is. Anyways, they're 8mm beads. They're kind of like a metal coated, but they're not metal. It's really shiny and not translucent, so they are solid beads. Gives you that really pretty sparkle. And then these here, this is just kind of a multicolored glass bead there. Some dark pinks, whites, light pinks, really easy to incorporate with any of these other colors. And then of course a really beautiful green, and it actually has some beads in between here that I probably won't use. They're just kind of like a plastic bead, so I'll discard those, but using these green beads was perfect in this size. I really liked them. And this size here is 6mm by 8mm. So again, when it tells you those sizes, your width and your depth, so you're looking at both with those sizes in mind. So anyways, this is the strands that I've gotten. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of them. I'll get a close-up shot of them so that you can kind of get a better visual of them. I'm not sure how well they showed up on the camera here, being this far away, but I just kind of wanted to show you and discuss with you what the beads look like and what kind of a haul that you can pick up at your local craft store. These were 50% off at the Michael's Craft Store. I know that the stores always change what their sales are. They aren't necessarily going to be the best variety all the time because, again, the variety was really light. But if you pick through those beads, there are really good quality beads within those categories and selections. And again, if you're just starting out, I think this is the perfect way to have an inexpensive look at getting those design sets started, and kind of also it gives you a way to show people, hey, look, if I make this, are you interested? Would you like something like this? Kind of gets you started off without going broke or investing a ton of money into something that just maybe doesn't fit well with the way people are receiving it, or you make it and you're kind of like, yeah, that was fun, but I'm not going to go spend a ton of money putting all these different designs together, because you are either going to want to do it the same or you're going to want to do a different pattern. And for me, it's always different patterns, so these kind of things really fuel that for me. I could get tons of different patterns. None of these will be made to be exactly the same, but they can be a resemblance of the same kind of look and still be one of a kind, because they will be different in some way. All right, well, that's about it. Good luck, you guys. I hope this was helpful on how to start finding some beads. Just get started, get a little bit of a handful of them, and have fun. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. And I will be making some. I will show you what I do with these beads in another video. I'm just gonna have to do some things, get that organized and all set up, and I will be making another one for you guys. Thanks for watching.